There's plenty of famous elephants out there. Dumbo, the red one in Jungle Book. Elephant? Elephant. But you may not have heard about these ones, because they are dead. On September 11th, 1919, Red Eldridge was promoted from unemployed homeless man to leader of the elephant parade in the Sparks world-famous show circus. This led to an understandably terrible result the next day when he prodded Mary with a big metal stick. Mary immediately stopped eating her watermelon to pick him up and slam him into the ground. According to one newspaper, she then proceeded to stab him with her tusks, trample him, then kick him into the crowd. Within a few minutes, the crowd was chanting to kill the elephant. The town blacksmith, Henry Cox, even tried shooting her, but did nothing. During all this, Mary was just chilling, I guess. Of course, the owner of the circus, Charlie Sparks, decided the only option he had was to kill Mary, obviously looking over stuff, like renaming her, selling her, and moving to Argentina. Mary was led down the railroad and lifted up with a chain tied around her neck on an industrial crane and died. Nowadays, the town of Irwin, Tennessee has turned Mary into their mascot in order to repent for their pachyderm sins. Fun fact, this town is only 5 hours away from where I live. Topsy the elephant was brought into America by elephant traders soon after being born. She was purchased by Four Paw Circus, who advertised her as the first elephant born in America before P.T. Barnum publicly exposed them. On May 27, 1902, James Blount offered her a drink of whiskey, which she responded to by crushing him with her knees, although it is possible that James throwing sand in her eyes and burning her tusk with a cigar may have contributed. After picking up a man with malicious intent later on, she was sold to Sea Lion Park. There, she helped build the ride A Trip to the Moon, even moving the ship called the Luna. Sea Lion Park marketed this as penance for her rampaging ways. Her handler did not help her public view, as he would get drunk and drive through the streets on her. One time, he even tried entering the police station on her back. Whether or not this counts as drunk driving, I could not find. They understandably fired the handler, and then instead of finding a new one, they just thought, might as well kill her. So they released a public statement saying they will electrocute her, and you can see, for just 25 cents, or $8 today. Sadly, the Humane Society decided that you kinda are not allowed to kill an animal in front of a crowd like that. So they took the humane approach of poisoning her, electrocuting her, and then hanging her in front of a small crowd of 1,500 people that did not pay to see it. The electrocution was recorded and could be viewed on Thomas Edison's kinetoscopes. This later led to people believing that Edison himself killed Topsy. Topsy was not available for a comment. Gypsy the elephant had a violent past where she had killed multiple people, usually just for no reason. One night in the town of Aldosto, the circus was packing up to leave and she was the last one out, because she was being used to pack up the tents. Then, her handler not only fell into a deep sleep, but also off of Gypsy. Gypsy then crushed him and escaped into the streets. She had broken her tusk on the sidewalk and the pain had enraged her, so now there was a rampaging elephant in the city streets. Her path of destruction had seriously injured 6 circus people and damaged even more property before being shot in the neck by the chief of police using a high-powered rifle from the Spanish-American War. Her body was cut up and buried in multiple holes. Her tusk was sold to a local museum. This story is not really an execution, as much as it is just an elephant died. But it was interesting anyway, so I included it. Elephants have something called must, where during mating they get aggressive and do just a bit of trolling. In the 60s, some scientists, which included a former MK Ultra member, decided to study this to make it easier for zoos to control. They brought in Tusco for this. They decided that the easiest way to replicate must was by giving him LSD. There's one issue though. Nobody has given elephants LSD and recorded the dosage, so they had no idea how much to give it. They cleverly decided to give Tusco all the LSD, or 10 times what causes permanent damage in a human. Tusco immediately started seizing, so they gave him promazine, which stopped the seizing but didn't bring him back. So they gave him pentobarbital, a sedative, which is used today to execute prisoners. As expected, Tusco died. The doctor who killed Tusco later went on to fight Scientologists. Hey, so what do we do? I have no clue. There's a story I wanted to add into a video about an elephant where the water was too expensive and they didn't have any, but they had alcohol, which they gave it and it got drunk and wrecked a town and then they killed it. I remember hearing about it on Mysteries at the Museum, but I couldn't find it anywhere. If you have more details, please tell me. And that's it, so hit that like button if you've ever killed an elephant.